G'day, I'm Friar Puck. There's a lot of confusion in the Lutheran Church of Australia at this point in time. Not only amongst my own parishioners, but amongst other parishes, amongst the pastorate. And the question that seems to be coming to the fore all the time is, so which synod do we now trust? Do we trust the previous synod that has now allowed for the removal of the prohibition for women to be teachers in the church, or do we go with the previous 5 synods that have said no? It seems to me that all the confusion comes from the leadership of the church not upholding what God has spoken through the church. And so now we have this anomaly, this strange confusion about what actually is God saying. And so do we trust that when we prayed and voted in the first 5 synods that God spoke through them, or do we believe something else? What was God saying to us if he wasn't working through the good order of the synod? And if God was working through the fact that we prayed and voted a 6th time, what does that say to all the other synods? What does it say to this one? The leadership really need to sort this out, because there is confusion abounding in the church. And that confusion alone says a lot about what has happened. God is a God of order, not a God of confusion and chaos. And what have we got in the LCA now? Chaos and confusion. I would also encourage the leadership of the church and all those out there to study what the Presbyterian Church in Australia have done. In 1974, the Presbyterian Church in Australia voted to ordain women. Then, years later in 1991, they revoked that decision. Why did they revoke the decision? Why did they go back on what they had originally said? Now, when they did revoke the decision, the women that were ordained weren't removed. They were allowed to serve out their time to retirement or death, and no more women were ordained. It's my prayer, it's my opinion, my observations that the Lutheran Church needs to revoke this last decision and return to what God has said through the previous 5 synods, that this will sort out the confusion. Those in the Lutheran Church who want to ordain women can go to plenty of other churches in Australia that already do ordain women. Why do we need to ordain women in the Lutheran Church of Australia? I'm also of the position that I stand behind the historical thesis of agreement. I do not agree with this last vote. I think it is a vote of disobedience. And so, what is God saying to us now? What is he saying to us amongst all the confusion? What is he saying through all the mischief that's gone on in the last 20 years, where people have been manipulated to and told that, that what we're doing was wrong, and now what we're doing is right? God will have his answer for all of us, and we're called to seek it in his word and through the guidance of the Holy Spirit. not a human spirit. I'm Pastor Heath McCullis, Friar Puck. God be with you all.